Okay. Now, there are some things that I want you to know before we proceed forward. One of the first things that we want to do before building our inference is know about tensor types. There are 3 tensor types that I need you to know as of now. Number 1, constant. Constants or TensorFlow constants are constant values. They don't change, right? There are variables which are going to change. So these are values adjusted in that computation graph we were talking about earlier. And then we have finally our placeholder. The placeholder is the TensorFlow type we will use to store our data. Okay, so house size is a placeholder because this is actual data. House price is again a placeholder because this is data. I can specify the type of the data and I can assign a name for it. Okay, next, the size factor. The values that are going to be adjusted in this graph is going to be a TensorFlow variable. So I go tf.variable. Offset is again going to be a variable. I for now randomly generate these variables, but there will be a learning process which will help us identify the best set of variables. Okay, so since these are going to change, the factor and offset, we are going to declare them as TensorFlow variables. And then finally, we're going to do some TensorFlow operations because that's what we do once we have these tensors ready, right? So what is the TensorFlow operation that we are going to do? We wish to implement this equation. So price equals size times factor plus offset. This is what we are trying to do. So we have the size here, we have the factor here. We are going to put these two tensors through a multiply operation, and then we are going to put the result of this and the offset through an add operation. Then finally we will get our output. This is the thing that we're trying to build. So if I build the computation graph for this equation, this is what it looks like. So we are going to multiply the factor and the size. If you see the highlighted snippet, we are multiplying the size along with its size factor. And then finally, we are going to add that result with the offset. So this is basically the way we build our computation graphs in TensorFlow. We're going to multiply the size factor with the house size, and then we're going to add that to the offset. So that being done, I'll just give it a quick execute. So we've got our TensorFlow placeholders, variables, and the computation graph ready.